couple of weeks ago, we went in Utah to compete on my 10th-time Red Bull Rampage.
We're giving the athletes a starting point and a finish line. How the riders traverse the mountain, well, that's up to them.
So, let's talk about Rampage. What's really good for me going into Rampage when I go to Utah is make sure I get enough time to get used to the terrain and how the dirt is, how different Utah is compared to every other spot. Paul and Lewis are two great friends of mine and two really good riders. After spending almost a week riding in Utah, everything was going so well and I felt more and more confident with my bike, and we went in for the last lap of the day, one day before the event started.
I think a T2B is kind of sketchy. If you actually end up crashing in.
You know what? Okay, let's just go. Then we go?
Ça va?
Yeah, I think a lack of focus and too much confidence led me to just a really unfortunate crash. So I didn't know at the time, but now I know that my wrist was broken. Je me suis enlevé ma race après 3 mètres.
Trop bien.
Ouais.
Tu t'es pas fait mal?
Before I flew to Utah for Rampage, I stopped in Lyon, which is a place not too far away from home, and I have a bunch of friends there and get some riding in at their spots.
Oh, toi, depuis 2012, t'as pas manqué une seule Rampage, toi. Parce que je me dis, putain, mes deux potes avec qui j'y allais, donc c'est toi et Vinny, vous êtes tous revenus avec un truc en souvenir, quoi. Il y a eu Bestline, il y a eu McGarry Award. C'est vrai. Moi, on a beau venir se
Ouais, mais t'as fait 7, 5e place, t'as fait combien?
Ouais, mais j'ai même pas un morceau de bois, à part une paire de chaussettes de la Rampage, j'ai rien à mettre et à me dire.
Back in the days, my first few Rampage were also his first few Rampage. It was definitely pointing me on the right path for being a better rider on the big bike. Riding trails is one of the most fun things you can do on a bike, even though you're about to do like the gnarliest event and we all feel the pressure about it, but those kind of sessions are the best and reminds you what is really important about riding.
Souffle. Tranquille, descends. Ah ma
Ouais, bah, m'a glissé sur l'épaule.
Ouais.
Mec, ça sent la merde là.
Je viens de péter.
In the past, at Rampage, it showed us that usually we do 2 years on each venues. The second year, it's kind of complicated to be creative, and I felt like I had so much more ideas and things I wanted to do with a different bike. So I decided to change it up and come with a single crown bike.
T'as pas des trucs pour les mettre dans les freins là, pour pas que les plaquettes se rapprochent?
Ce serait bien que tu roules avec un frein arrière.
Ouais.
Et j'ai juste monté mon DH avec la sympathie. En bande 7, enfin, un peu comme ton vélo au final, ça va être marrant de faire des barres spin.
So how our Rampage goes nowadays is we have one scouting day, then you got 4 days of digging only, 1 day break, and 4 days of practice, but also where you can also dig and finish your line.
Moi, ça m'a hanté pendant 365 jours. Donc, Steam Meeting now. Bon, pour que tu comprennes, Jean-Paul, le drop à plat, c'est celui qui est le plus à droite.
Non, c'est à droite. C'est vénère.
Ah ouais.
Pas de crédit, ça.
That was sick. Oh. Ah oui, d'accord. Ouais.
On part en avant après.
During this scouting day, I kind of already knew what I wanted to do on my line. It's really a 2-year process. You don't want to leave all the hard work that you do the year before, so you want to go back on the same line and just improve it. Last year, what we did was focus on 2 main build and features, which was the start with steep drop, left turn, on off, back onto the ridge. And the second main build we had was the big flat drop section. This year, I thought we would just fill the gaps in between those main sections and just add up better things, so it would be a non-stop run. This year, we created a new step down. Right after the top section, you go back on the ridge and then you drop down on the compression and you got a nice step down back into the ridge. And then we improved the bottom a lot, which was also, I think, an empty spot in our line.
C'est très freeride, il n'y a pas une main, pas un pied qui sort, mais c'est engagé. Et puis il faudrait que le premier trick, ce soit un peu bien, quoi. Et puis je pense qu'au niveau shape, c'est cool de se dire, on fait un truc là et on change le bas et on reshape. Je me dis qu'il vaut mieux peut-être pas trop me rajouter de trucs que je connais pas, sachant combien de pratique je vais avoir avec ça, je sais pas. Ça va aller.
The diggers, so Louis and Paul, they had so much more work due to my wrist that I couldn't really participate and lead the build because those first 3 days after the crash, honestly, I wasn't really able to properly dig. The boys had definitely a lot of work ahead. So when I crashed, I reached out to my friend Reed Boggs. He got me in contact with his physio from St. George, Darren. So I was seeing Darren, who helps me so much also mentally. Darren told me, well, anyone that I saw told me that I should do X-ray if I wanted to know exactly what I had. I was trying to shape as much as I could, but also trying to balance it with icing my hand, going to the physio in the morning, and trying to make everything so the swelling would go down, and also trying to work as much on the line, so it was really a balance between the two. Yeah, I wanted to just feel the pain and really just listen to my body, and every rider already had to push through the pain. Usually when you have something broken, you feel it and your body pretty much tells you no. Then I felt like it was getting better each day, but 4 days after when I got home, I did a scanner and ended up having multiple fracture in my wrist. And looking back at it, if you would have told me that I had a broken wrist before Rampage, I would obviously not compete.
Tu me laisses même pas le choix. Je dis c'est là que tu vas.
C'est là que tu vas là-bas, mon.
Elle est là, non, trop tard.
Là, je peux remettre et faire un peu gnac.
Poser, me faire un petit gnac, ouais.
Gnac.
Là, c'est bien, ils se sont pas foutus de notre gueule.
Oui, café. On était vraiment contents de te voir monter parce qu'on avait faim.
Ah, trop fort, ouais.
C'est cool de manger.
Mélo.
Wow. Ouh, cookies. Oui, j'adore.
Ouais, c'est bien.
C'est vraiment mon moment préféré de la journée, le repas.
So I was really anxious about this first practice day because that was going to be the yes or no, you cannot make this, or yes, you can make it. I made sure I started with the section of the line that had the least impact, and that was the smoothest.
Don't case, man. Just a machine. Yeah, with Jesus.
And I went for the first practice. I was able to ride. Through the week and through practice, I really worked my way up. I was able to try the big drop. Unfortunately, I had a little case. That was definitely the worst I felt. My wrist and also my confidence. My confidence was not at the best because I felt my wrist really much and then went back up. And they were definitely limited practice for me. I was just doing what I had to do to make it work, but not more.
They spent so much time shaping this landing and I didn't even touch it.
I know.
Well, at a Rampage, you have to be really careful about how much risk you take because any crash can take you out of the event. knowing that I did my homework at home, that I worked hard on my tricks, that I did them enough, I had enough confidence not to do them on site because I knew they were gonna work. What I really wanted was to feel confident with the jumps, the size of the jumps, the way you have to pop, how to make it down the hill smoothly. Yeah, not so much tricks for me in practice. One thing you can control and one thing you can practice for Rampage is your tricks, because the tricks are always going to be the same. So of course I make sure I have them dialed at home. I make sure I do them on enough different features, and I make sure I hit as many different jump spots as I can and do those tricks as many times as I can. The closer I get to the event, and the harder for me it gets to take a bigger risk, just because I think I start stressing about not making it to the event. I start stressing about what if I crash, what if I get hurt just before flying. Tail whip was definitely a thing that I had to work on, knowing that the bike is definitely bigger than a small bike. Yeah, sometimes you go just through some mental battles with yourself, and I know I can do it, but your brain says, no, you're scared, or no, you're not gonna make it happen. Yeah, one good example was the tail whip on the flat drop that I had at home. Did it with the slope bike the day before. I went in super confident, kind of just like, okay, I'm just gonna make it happen. And then suddenly I had a battle, like a mental battle, where that tail whip wouldn't go. Which was kind of driving me crazy, because I knew it was really nothing too bad to do, but any mountain biker and anyone that does extreme sport is going through those battles, and they're not easy to deal with. You know you're not gonna crash, but your brain tells you that you're not gonna make it, and it's definitely a balance between training and going as hard as you can, but also staying healthy and actually make it to the event.
Tiens, Ketoprofen, protecteur l'estomac.
I think that's good.
Well, Cam is the host. I'm the analyst. But we're in the booth together.
On the start, as weird as I sound right now, but I definitely feel really good. The fact that I didn't have any event and any competition in this year, I realized that I was missing this contest feeling a lot. Since I'm 8 years old, I'm competing on a mountain bike. I definitely had this contest pressure a lot.
T'as pas vu mon vélo?
Get it?
Bonne chance.
Well, welcome mountain bike fans from all around the world. This is the spectacle of all spectacles. Thomas Jeannon, a rider with a slopestyle background who's been a fixture for the past 10 years. 3 fifth places, one of them coming at this venue just last year. He's been battling a sore wrist after a kind of a silly little crash, training before the event window started, just riding some steeps. He identified what some of the weaknesses were in his line. He's added some more features to cut down on some of the dead space traversing. It's go time for Thomas Jeannon.
First section, which is so technical, and he's ripping down it.
Jeannon with a single crown this year.
See what he has here?
Yes!
A big tail whip! Oh, wow! I was not expecting that tail whip, and he cleans it! And now coming into this super technical step down. Nice stylish toboggan. And here's where it gets serious, Cam.
Yeah!
Yes! Big 3 table, and he lands so clean.
Nobody does a 360 tape like Jeannon.
That run had so many cool parts of it. The first part is so steep, so technical, then the exposed tail whip on the ridge, and then into the big spin.
Great run for Tommy G. We'll look forward to run number 2.
I felt like my first run was a win. I was really stoked. Yeah, I made it top to bottom, no crashes.
Yeah, thank you. Maybe.
I was really stoked on this year, on the fact that I went back up, went through this whole process again.
His first run was so amazing. He's currently sitting in 9th
Rider
position.
number 3, Thomas Jeannon.
Yeah, Tommy G's so experienced at Rampage, knows exactly what he needs to do at this event. Let's see what he's got here. The tail whip, he gets it perfect again. How impressive is that? Suicide on that technical step down. And we're into the big drop. Get it. A little over-rotated and rowdy, but no issue for Tommy G. And he's into the bottom of his run. Let's see what he's got on this trick jump.
Classic Tommy G right here.
Yeah! The trademark Tommy G 360 table. And then an Indy C-Crab! Adding that to the end, so more improvements for Tommy G.
Oh, yes!
What?
Having a tail up at the bottom, too.
Making the end of the run way sicker, way better 3 table, an Indy C-Crab, and a down whip, and he is thrilled with that, I bet.
Felt like it was a huge improvement on the second run. This is definitely a successful year for me, just the fact that I did 2 runs.
Non, ça va. T'as trop bien roulé. T'as tout pété.
Tommy G! Ah, good job, boys. Good job. Good job. How are you? Congrats on another Rampage. That's so sick to share the line with you guys.
So sick. Well done. Cheers, boys. Cheers. Cheers.
Casca fuck.
Casca fuck.
Casca fuck.
You like that one, huh?